USA. So as the title says, today's video is all about cook with me. So you guys know I kind of dibble and dabble in the kitchen. That is another one of my loves of life. So what I'm going to do is make some barbecue or oven style barbecue chicken thighs using Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce. Barbecue. Okay. So first things first, I already have the chicken washed. I'm just gonna strain off this little bit of water from just allowing it to sit for a second. Get that excess water out of there, okay? You don't want too much water in your chicken. So I got some chicken thighs from Whole Foods. So I'm gonna turn you guys around so you guys can see as I'm seasoning up the meat. All right, so there you go. Let me push this back some so it's nice and level. There we are. There we are. All right, cool. I can't read you guys' comments at this very second because I'm using my little makeshift. You guys know when I use my little makeshift ghetto tripod, I can't really see much, but I'll try to read your comments as I go. Hey. All right, so first things first, our chicken has been washed in vinegar and lemon, and then I strained it off. I didn't trim off any of the fat pieces today. I left them on. I got these chicken thighs from Whole Foods, and then I just washed them, cleaned them. I'm gonna leave them whole like such. If you want to trim off the fat, you can. Me personally, I feel like when it comes onto like barbecue, it just kind of leaves more flavor. So that's why I'm going to use it the way I am. So for our seasonings, I'm going to use some roasted garlic. Okay. I'm also going to use some black pepper. Nothing too fancy, just black pepper. I also have my bottle of Sweet Ray's barbecue sauce, but you can use whatever barbecue sauce you want. I also have some red crushed pepper flakes. Okay. I have some onion powder. I do not use specific brands. Well, I'm not lying. I'm lying. I like this brand. I guess it's Badia. I use theirs. I use so many different brands, so it's not really a choice. And then, of course, I'm going to also have some extra virgin olive oil or olive oil for cooking. And then these two babies right here are actually our seasonings, if you guys don't know what they are. So this is our adobo seasoning and then our dry jerk seasoning. I'm going to use both. They have not been placed on our website yet, okay? But this is what they look like. So I'm also going to use these as well. Cool. So first things first, I am going to put some black pepper. You can use as much or as little as you like. I do not like using that side, so I'm going to open the bigger side, but you got to make sure you have the controlled hand if you're going to use that side. Okay. Black pepper. Anytime I use black pepper, I sneeze. Some onion powder. Okay. Our roasted garlic powder. So in comparison to size, our bottles are almost the same size, except theirs is a lot smaller, or shorter. What? Yeah. Okay, so that's a comparison of the sizes. They're about the same. There you go. So we're gonna put our roasted garlic. And then red pepper flakes, I'm not gonna put a lot, just a little bit, just for a little bit of oomph to the food. And then we're going to put our jerk rub. Now, I'm not looking for the jerk pepper. I want that smoky flavor that our rub gives. So this is why I'm adding it. And it's also going to add a little bit of heat. That's why I did not put a lot of the crushed red pepper. But I do want some smokiness in there, okay? I can't wait to try your seasoning. Thanks, guys. All right, and then our adobo. Okay, I usually do enough to cover the top. because I know at the end of the day, I have all that meat under there, and chicken thighs make a lot of oil and fat, so a lot of that seasoning is just gonna go. And then I'm gonna also add a little bit of our sweet raised barbecue. So this is not the barbecue for the chicken. This is just gonna start the flavor of the chicken. And that's how I do mine. I need to get a glove. Also going to get a couple cloves of fresh garlic, and a piece of fresh ginger. Alright, so I also have a piece of fresh ginger and some garlic. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rinse that off. Okay, and I'm going to smash it and put it into our chicken. So I'll show you guys how I smash it. I use this thing here, drop them in there. Let me find my little mallet thingy. If I can find it. Okay, here we go. So we have our little mallet thing, and all I'm gonna do, I use this and just smash everything. Okay, and then you can grind it up like so. Okay, the reason I leave the skin on the ginger is because I don't want the ginger to get too all over the place, but I want it to be in the chicken. Okay, so I'm gonna put that in there. And I don't have any gloves, so what I'm gonna do is use this Ziploc bag, and I'm also gonna take about a tablespoon of olive oil for cooking and put that in there just so my meat does not stick to my pan. Okay, I'm going to use this. Normally I use my hands, but because I have the barbecue on there, I'm going to use the bag. And you could have also done it in the bag too. And see why I said you want to make sure you have enough seasoning, because these pieces here will literally hide. Okay, so as you can tell, there's no barbecue left. It's more for the flavor for the chicken while it's in the oven, but we still are going to add our sauce later on, which you guys won't really be around for me to show you the sauce, but because I'm doing it live. But I'll definitely upload a picture to my stories so you guys can see the finished product. Alright, so our chicken is seasoned, and I'm sure you guys are typing your fingers away, so let me see. How will I be cooking the chicken? In the oven. That looks good. I never did it that way. I guess I will start. I can't have the sweet baby. Maybe I can try another barbecue sauce of my diabetes. So there's another sauce that you can try. I'll find it in the fridge for you, and it's sugar-free. Want to take all of those seasoning mixed together and call it crystal seasoning. You're funny. All right, so let me find this barbecue sauce that you can use at home. For those of us that do keto, this is actually one of the nice ones too. This one is a sugar-free barbecue sauce by G. Hughes. It's actually really good. So if you're doing keto, this is one of the good barbecue sauces to use. So for those of you that are doing keto, I have it in my fridge because I dibble and dabble back and forth. So it's gluten-free and it's 2 carbs per serving, and each serving is 2 tablespoons. Okay, so shameless plug. There you guys go. So for my diabetes baby, you can use that. All right, cool. So let me move back my little ghetto tripod here. No, I don't plan on buying a better tripod for my house because I don't do as many videos at home. So if you guys understand, you understand. All right, good. All right, so even though I put the oil on the chicken, I'm gonna use a little bit of Pam coconut spray at the bottom here, real light. I like to use disposable pans. So the cleanup thing at the end with the sauce, and I don't like dealing with all of that. Okay? So I'm gonna take my tongs, and basically what I'm gonna do is just spread my chicken out in my pan here, just like that. Okay, so you wanna, they can touch, it's not a big deal. We're not trying to crisp them up, we want them to cook. So if they touch, they touch. If they don't, they don't. I'm doing it for a family of 5, so I have about 12 pieces here. Because you know chicken thighs get really small as they cook, so you want to make sure you have enough for everybody. And they have value packs at Whole Foods. That's what I bought. I bought a value pack, and I just used one whole pack. It was like $7. But you can get chicken thighs even cheaper than that. I was at Whole Foods and I saw it and I bought it. Okay, so remember our chicken has the garlic and the ginger, which is fresh. And then all these little bits here that I have here, I'm just gonna scoop them into the pan as well. I'm not gonna throw this out, and I'll tell you guys why in a little bit. So my pan is already, that's why I got 2. My oven's already hot. So they're gonna go in the oven on 425 degrees. You can put foil paper on it, but because it's like a barbecue style, I'm not gonna put any foil paper because I want it to cook really quickly. So these will go in the oven, just like that. All right, cool. So I'm gonna turn you guys around. Let me fix my little camera here. Yes, I did get mine at Publix. I got it at Publix. Okay, so I'm also going to make some mac and cheese for the kids, and then for us, we're gonna eat broccoli. You guys, if you guys know we eat a lot of broccoli. But hold on, I need everybody to thumbs up this live, please. Their live is going on. I need everybody to close their chat and hit that thumbs up button. Hit that thumbs up button. When I bake my chicken, I never add water because it makes its own juice. It does. You know what? This is all I need. I'm going to use those 2 pans to make broccoli and my mac and cheese. Thank you guys. All right, so we're going to get our pans prepared for the mac and cheese, which I'm just doing a little Velveeta in the box. We like this particular type, which is the Velveeta rotini and cheese. We like those, and it has broccoli. I like it. It tastes good. So that's what I get for the kids. So let me rinse out this pan here. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that on the stove on high. I don't put oil in there, just a little bit of salt. Oh, thank you guys. Thank you. Thank you very much. All right, so we're gonna turn this around so you guys can see what I'm doing. We're over here. Remember, we're gonna just put this to the side for a second. We're gonna actually use a very small sauce pot for that. Yeah, I'll use this one. All right, so while that water is about to catch up in the boil phase, we'll put our little top on it. This is gonna be for our broccoli. Okay, so we're gonna let this, you know what? I'm gonna take this from here and I'll put this back here, just so I can use my spade. All right, so for the broccoli, we buy this at Publix as well. This is organic. They're two different brands, Foxy and Tanamura. We buy that. I like the organic broccoli better. So it's not, whatever choice you prefer is cool for me. Sorry, I gotta keep turning the camera so you guys can see what I'm doing as I'm doing it. Thanks. All right, so for the broccoli, I'll show you the easiest way. We don't eat the stock. I don't really do anything with the stock. Okay. So I'm gonna take my knife, literally take my broccoli, and I cut it right there in the bag. That's how I do it. I've always done it this way. This knife isn't the sharpest either, but you get what I mean. Like that. But of course, you can take it out of the bag. It's not something that there's a wrong or right to it. I just never do. So I only use the crowns of the broccoli. And then broccoli hides stuff on the inside, so I like to cut them into pieces well enough that I can see the inside of the broccoli, so when it's wash time, everything's a go. And that's all I do. I literally just, if I see there's too much stock, because I know I don't use a lot of the stock, then I'll cut some more off. Ooh. I think with this one, I'm not going to use the whole head, so I'm going to take some of it off. Well, you know what? The kids are going to eat broccoli with the macaroni, so I'll use all of it. It's not going to really crowd the pot too much anyway. Like, we eat a lot of broccoli at home. And we just started making asparagus too. I'm still learning the asparagus thing though. It's okay. It's not the best thing, but you know, it tastes okay. If it's cooked the right way, it tastes okay. We love broccoli. Like, love. We're very minimal on the type of veggies that we'll eat at home. Like, we eat carrots, but when you're trying to stay away from a lot of starch too, that's what limits you even more. So, but broccoli is definitely our best. In this house it is. Christian? Christian? I'm using my phone, so I can't even message him. And like for these little trippets here, you can save them and put them into the mac and cheese too. It's not gonna make a huge difference, but yeah. All right, so the bag that I used for seasoning, I'll just use that for my garbage. Okay, so what I'm going to do is wash this real quick. So I washed our broccoli, real easy. All I'm gonna do is take a little bit of adobo seasoning. We do add seasoning to our broccoli. Okay. And some black pepper. I probably should have used the bigger pot. Let me see. I feel like this pot is a little too crowded for my liking, so I'm gonna switch it to this pot. So yeah, we're gonna change it to that pot. Only because I like it spread out a little bit more and it'll cook a little bit better. Yeah. And then we'll take some butter. And you know what I have? I have some scampi butter. I'm gonna use some of that. It's called scampi butter. Of course, leave it to me. I'd crack a hole in the plastic, but okay. I keep it in the freezer. Scampi butter. So I'm just gonna and just drop it in there. You use it to make shrimp scampi, but it's seasoned butter. It makes everything better. All right, so then we're gonna put this over here. We have a little bit of water in the bottom. I'm gonna turn our stove to medium low. All right, so then we're gonna put that there. I don't need this. Cool. So far, what we've done is I hate the light when what it does under here, so I'm kind of like playing with it. There we go. So far, what we've done, we've put our broccoli on. Our chicken is in the oven. Where you going? Daddy's busy. I'll let you know, or you'll hear when he come inside. All right, so for our mac and cheese, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm just gonna open the box. It's nothing fancy. I guess you guys do want to see me adding stuff to the pot. This is why I know I'm not cut out for cooking, because I don't have the energy for all that stuff. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and put my noodles in. I'm gonna use 2 boxes because it doesn't come with a lot of noodles. I've tried the whole wheat version of this too from Velveeta. It's actually really nice. Okay, I did not put any oil in the pot, just so everybody is aware. I did not put any oil in the pot. And then I'm gonna take my broccoli here, stir that in, and then I'm gonna add the little freeze-dried broccoli. Put that in too. Oy. So the kids get their vegetables on either side because I only buy the mac and cheese with the broccoli in it. And then we're gonna stir our pot here. Let that baby cook. And a trick for you guys who your pot sometimes boils over, if you take a wooden spoon and you put it right in the middle of the pot, it keeps it from boiling over. Okay, so we are gonna work on our sauce. If you guys know anything about sauce, sauce is important. So we're gonna work on our sauce. You enjoy baking by chance? If so, what's your favorite dish? I do not enjoy baking. I don't like anything that requires me to do a whole bunch of measurements. To be quite honest, I like eating it, but I don't like baking. I feel like it requires too much precision. Whereas cooking, I can freehand my food. I can season it to my liking. What are you looking for? All right, so we're gonna make our sauce. I know a lot of you are like, but you already have sauce. Right, but that's not actually making your sauce. Okay. So what I'm gonna do So our pot here, remember you guys, our bowl that had all of our seasonings embedded in the bowl? What I'm gonna do is take a little bit of water. Okay, that's all I did. I took some water and I'm just gonna get all of this seasoning and goodness from my chicken, because remember it has the chicken flavor. But when you're doing this, you have to make sure that you literally boil this water before you add your sauce, and you'll see a huge difference in the taste, right? So I have this. I also have a banana shallot.
Double A battery? I only found triple A.
This is what?
This one.
It's not in that drawer? Not that. Yeah, look in that drawer. All right, so I'm gonna take a little bit of butter. I use Kerrygold butter. I really like it. Not a lot of butter though, just a little bit. Like that much butter, okay? In precision, not even a teaspoon of butter. Okay, so we're gonna put that in there. Okay, and then I'm gonna take a banana shallot. This is a banana shallot. And all I'm gonna use is a small piece of the banana shallot. Okay, so I'm only using about that much banana shallot. And I'm just gonna literally slice it down the middle and add it to my pan here. You can make your shallots, or you can just use the onion, but I feel like the shallot has a lot more flavor. You can make it as small or as big as you want. Take my little spoon and stir it up. So here, I know you guys want to kind of like look down in the pot, right? You want to look down in the pot? So let me fix up my makeshift tripod. Let's see if this will go down any farther now. There you go. So we have our banana shallot in here, right? You see it kind of browned already, so you gotta stir it really quick. So our bowl here that we had our seasonings in, I'm gonna use this as my water, but I need to bring it to a boil first to make sure that those chicken pieces that's in there have cooked. Okay, so you wanna bring that to a boil. It's very, very important if you're gonna use the seasoning from the bowl that you bring this water to a rumbling boil. Okay, and you want to make sure that it comes to a boil and those chicken pieces that's in there, they begin to cook. It's very important. And I'm gonna let it boil for just a little while. It doesn't have any big pieces, but it had a little piece, like just a couple little particles in there from the chicken, so I want to make sure I boil that out. But I'm using this water as my base to the sauce, and my, I guess you call it, to loosen the thickness of the barbecue sauce. So I wanted to use that flavored water. But you can use regular water too. There's no wrong or right way. So remember when I said if your pot boils over, if you put that wooden spoon there, the pot will not boil over. It will not boil over. Just like that. All right, so this is good. So you see, we got our butter, we got our shallots, we got our little water here, okay? So what I'm gonna do is take some of our sweet rays. I'm just gonna squeeze, and squeeze, and squeeze. And I'm gonna use a little bit of ketchup, okay? A little bit of ketchup, organic ketchup, right? And then I'm literally just gonna stir, 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 but I'm gonna turn my stove down. I don't want my stove to be on high. I have it down to medium, right? So now I'm gonna go ahead and season my sauce. A little bit of onion powder. Even though I put the shallots in there, I love onion powder. Okay, so y'all just kind of work with me. A little bit of garlic powder. Small amount of adobo. Or you can use garlic salt. And then a little bit of our jerk chicken rub for some smoky spice. And then of course if you want to add any more heat you can, but that's good enough for me. So all I'm gonna do is just kind of like incorporate that water into the sauce and mix it really, really well. Okay, so to my liking, it's still a little too thick. So you can use chicken stock. You can use water, it's up to you. I'm gonna add some honey. So this is pure raw honey from the honeycomb. The kids actually ate the honeycomb. They were trying to see what it tastes like, but they didn't too like it. Excuse me. And then a small amount of lemon pepper. It's not gonna really change the taste. It's just gonna cut a little bit of that sweetness and add a small amount of acidity to the sauce. You can also use lemon. The lemon pepper works just the same. Okay, you see it's starting to slightly loosen. Is it loose enough for my liking? No. So I'm gonna take just a little bit more water. This is just regular water, okay? Just about that much. You don't wanna put too much water. And you don't wanna add oil. That's another reason why I use the butter. And I allow the onions to absorb the butter, because then your sauce will break. Hey, love, your videos just completed. Hey, congrats, 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 D. All right, so let's see how thick it is. That's good enough. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna allow it to bring to a small rumble boil where you start seeing it going, right? We're gonna taste our sauce. Let's see. That sauce is good. All right, so let me check out my macaroni here. All right, so we're gonna turn that off. Let that sit. This we're gonna bring to a somewhat boil. Clean up our kitchen here. Chicken. Okay, so I want you guys to see our chicken real quick. While that's coming to a boil, here is our chicken. So what I'm gonna do is take this out. Okay, that's our chicken. So you guys know chicken thighs don't take very long to cook, but they are very juicy. So you guys see all that saucy juice there. Okay. They do not take long to cook at all. At some point of the process, I'm going to put them in one pan together, but I'm giving them one flip, just one. Okay. So we're gonna put this back in for a couple more minutes, and then as we make our mac and cheese, I'll go back, switch them into one pot, one pan together, and then we're gonna sauce them. All right, so I can see the steam coming off of our sauce. I'm just gonna use the pot cover from my mac and cheese. It'll be okay. That sauce is good. All right, so we're gonna let that go. Got our broccoli go in here. Just gonna kind of move it around. Nothing too major with the broccoli. Broccoli, I just kind of let it sit, do its thing. It doesn't really require too much. Okay, and then we're gonna come over here to our mac and cheese. Let me move these. My air fryer is in the way. But this is our mac and cheese here. Okay, so I'm gonna drain out this water. I'll just drain it into here. So all I'm doing is draining out the water, that's all. All right, good. So we got the mac. Yeah. Cool. Here, let me bring you guys over some more so you can see what I see. All right. There we go. So, turn off my stove with my sauce. Our sauce is boiling. Black pepper, sea salt. Okay. I said sea salt, pink Himalayan salt. Ooh, Lord, bless me. And I'm not sneezing in the food, you guys. All right, so we just kind of mix that around just like that. And then we're gonna use our cheese. Like the mac and cheese is nothing too brilliant, you guys. It's just basic, fast home mac and cheese. Just some fast mac and cheese with the little Velveeta pack. I'm not doing all the other stuff today. If I had some shredded cheese, I definitely add it, but I don't have any. And normally I would use shredded cheese, but I don't have any shredded cheese. So we're just gonna use what we have here. I usually start with one packet because that's enough. And we like our mac and cheese nice and loose. I wonder if I do. Let me see if I have any cheese there. Actually, I have some provolone, so I'm gonna put a piece or two of provolone cheese. So let's do that. And this is just sliced provolone, you guys, that's all. I just don't want to drop the whole slice in there. You know how long that takes to melt out? So I'm gonna let that sit for a second. Let that provolone just kind of melt out in there, and then I'll stir it again in just a moment. So I'm gonna leave that for a sec. So let's check out our sauce in the meantime. Getting fancy. You're so funny. What's the difference between regular salt and pink Himalayan salt? I don't really know if there's a difference. I feel like they taste very different. They taste different to me. Iodized salt and Himalayan pink salt is a little bit, they taste different. They do. They really do taste very different. And Himalayan pink salt, they say, is a lot healthier on how it's harvested and stuff. I love me some broccoli and also some barbecue. So this is our broccoli. Can you guys see my broccoli going? I just steam it in the pot. Nothing fancy with that part either. Have you ever made chicken noodle soup with the juices or stock from baked chicken? No, I haven't. But I'm sure it tastes really, really good. But what I do is sometimes I'll go back and add some of the juices from the chicken into the barbecue sauce. And sometimes I'll use that for my sauce base. But I wanted to make sure that my sauce was thoroughly cooked, because I did use the water from the pot that I used to season up my chicken. So yeah. All right, let's check the chicken out. Let's check out the chicken. So I hear it sizzling. All right, so our chicken's sizzling. Let me see if it's done here. Yeah, it's good. So what I'm gonna do is put you guys down for a second. Let me take this chicken out. It smells so good. But you're gonna leave the oven on, okay? So you're definitely gonna leave the oven on. Important. Because the chicken is not 100% finished. We still have to go back and put it in there so that it can finish out with the sauce. So here's our chicken. Looks good, looks good. So what I'm gonna do is take it out of this pan for a second and put them over here. It smells so good, you guys. If you can't smell it, you really don't know what you're missing. I'm gonna use the remainder, the sauce that we just made. I'm gonna use that and cook the chicken in the sauce. So I'm trying to get all the little bitties out of here. My garlic, it smells so good, y'all. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to put this somewhere. Okay. So I just poured that sauce into another pan, and then I'm just gonna take my chicken and I'm gonna put one layer first. So you see how small they got? This is why I did the whole pack, because these are gonna literally just, you give one to one person and that's it. They're all done. So I'm trying to stuff them all one layer for now, if I can. Okay. And then our little bits. Those will go in there. My ginger will go back in there. My garlic will go back in there. And I still have all this good juice. That juice. So what I'm gonna do is take my sauce. My sauce is nice and still really, really thick. And I'm just gonna pour my sauce over my chicken. I wanna do like a small layer, because I'm gonna turn them over in just a moment. Okay, so we got that. I got my little brush here, and all I'm gonna do is just kind of brush it on. The chicken's still gonna be all in the sauce, you guys, but just to make sure that everybody gets some sauce first. Okay, so I still have tons of sauce in the pan, but I wanna make sure that everybody gets sauce. You wanna sauce up everybody, right? And then I'm just gonna turn them over. You don't have to do it this way. You can easily just pour it on and put it back in there. But I want every piece of chicken to have sauce on it. And then the excess sauce, you'll see what I do with it in just a second. Okay, so I'm gonna take some more sauce and pour it over again. Okay, so you see this sauce that's left? You'll see in a second what I do with it. So if you don't like your chicken with a lot of sauce, then you can leave it like this, put it back in your oven, and everything's a go. Me personally, I like my chicken to like bubble and ooze in the sauce. So I'm gonna move this to the side for 1 second. You see this right here? This that's left? I'm not gonna pour the whole thing because you don't want it too runny, but you want it runny enough that it will loosen the sauce. So now that all the chicken has sauce on it, because remember, if you had just put the chicken in there with the sauce like that, then they're gonna separate. But if you mix them first, then pour it over your chicken, everybody has sauce and the sauce won't separate. Okay, so this, can you imagine how good this is gonna be? Let's see. All right, so then now I'm just gonna take the remainder of the sauce. So we just used everything. We used all of it. We left nothing behind. The oils, everything. So remember, if you had put the sauce in the pan and the chicken didn't have any sauce, then it would have ended up just like that, where all of the oil would have separated from the sauce.
Hi, Dad.
Okay? So everything has sauce now. The sauce did not separate. The sauce didn't separate. And we incorporated all that juice that came off of the chicken thighs into the sauce. So this is gonna go back into the oven and we're gonna put a piece of foil over this. So just one piece of foil. Okay, so we're gonna put that piece of foil over it just so it can steam. Make sure that it's nice and tight. And this will go back in the oven for about 10 to 15 minutes, the max. So we're gonna do 10 minutes. Let's see, I know you guys have asked like tons of questions. 3 cups of salt. Where's the BP and onions? What's BP? Love me some barbecue chicken, especially on the grill. How much more plate of food? Juanita, I will be back on live with all of that information shortly. Jerk chicken probably won't be for a while. Oh, bell peppers. I didn't use any bell peppers today. I did use banana shallots, but no bell peppers. All right, so let's check out our Mackie. So we have our Mackie here. That's actually really good. Yeah, that's good. I feel like I could use a little bit more black pepper because I can't really see it. And then you want to taste it as well. I usually like to use sharp cheddar because it gives it that bite, but we don't have any sharp cheddar. But you can use cayenne pepper too, or paprika. You guys see that? Yeah. So our mackey's ready. That one is good to go. And our broccoli is done. All right, you guys. They do. They love them. So our broccoli's done. Bless me. Our broccoli's all finished. Nice and steamed. So we're just gonna push that to the back. Our mackey's done. Okay, the kiddos. And then our barbecue's going. So we're just gonna go ahead and clean up. Yeah, it's like an easy dinner. Dinner doesn't have to take extremely long. Real simple. Thanks, guys. All right, cool. So we're gonna go ahead. No dessert. We don't make dessert. We don't make desserts. So time for me to get this kitchen nice and clean. Saucepan. We need that for our chicken, this for our broccoli, and this. Barbecue chicken thighs, broccoli, and mac and cheese. Yeah. And I did not use the second pack because it makes it runny. It makes the food very runny. You don't want runny mac and cheese. Ew. So we're gonna go ahead and clean up our area. So I'm just gonna kind of move my pots over here. No mac and cheese soup. No mac and cheese soup. So all I'm doing is just kind of wiping down my little surfaces that I used. It's still hot, so still gotta be careful. Yep. Oh, jeez, it's driving me nuts. As per usual. As per usual, yeah. I'm just kind of waiting for the barbecue to be done so you guys can see what it looks like. Yeah, all of the seasonings had salt in it already. No more salt. And then I'm gonna make a little cucumber salad. They don't really eat it, but I like it. Tastes nice. Is the chicken already baked? So this is just a little organic cucumber. And then to get the bitterness out of the cucumber, you take the top and you rub it like that. So I'm only gonna do about half. I don't take all the skin off of these. This skin is actually really good. So I only leave a little bit of skin on the cucumber. Just like this. And a tomato wedge. These are vine ripe tomatoes, so I like to get them when they're like somewhat ripe, so they're nice and firm. And then lastly, a piece of bell pepper. So you can use apple cider vinegar or regular vinegar. I'm just gonna use a little bit of white vinegar. I don't have any apple cider. It's like 2 tablespoons. A little bit of pink Himalayan salt. And lastly, a little bit of black pepper. There's our salad. So that's ready to go. And then we're gonna look at our chicken and then we're all done. No, I'm not a doctor. I learned too much sauce. It's not good. All right, so let's look at our chicken. Ooh, it's hot. Ooh, it's ooey gooey. Mm-hmm. Gotta taste the piece. So if you want, you can also put it in the oven without the foil if you want to give it a little bit of darkness or caramelization, but no need, it looks great. Mm-hmm. Yes, look at that, Dad. Look at that. So our barbecue chicken thighs are done with our mac and cheese and our broccoli. All right, you guys, thanks so much for watching today. Thanks so much for joining our Cook With Me. You guys know I don't do it too often, but when I do, I try. But I hope you guys have an amazing, what is today? Hump day? Wednesday. Yep, today's hump day. And I'll see everybody in the next live.